Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. Chapter 1. The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Thanks for telling me what to do.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job.
Wait!
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Because she doesn't want to die. Have you ever thought about that, narrator?
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
True.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Outline the character or structure vibrates.
The interior of the
okay,
cabin
so like
is
what it's
almost
doing right now.
entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
True.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Oh, she sounds hot.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
She could be in charge.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Okay, chat. I don't think we're killing her. Bro, she sounds hot.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
Narrator's like,
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
I haven't decided yet.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out.
Yeah.
Don't you dare.
The narrator sounds like a mom.
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Let's keep ourselves protected, but we'll listen to her.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip.
Look at the face! Look, she looks so sad.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
Oh,
You step forward,
never mind, she
your
grumpy.
grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
She grumpy.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
I just want to talk to her.
You're so close. Don't give up. You've come this far. No, this is a good idea. Maybe we can de-escalate things.
Yeah.
Oh, threatened, are we? You poor thing. Drop the knife, and of course we can talk.
You know what? Fuck it.
blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
The narrator sounds so annoying.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your
Oh,
better
never mind.
judgment,
Lula, she hasn't
you
slept
step
in
forward to speak with the
500
princess face to face,
years.
unarmed. Don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Huh? I kind of want to know what her name is.
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
I'm here because you're supposed to end the world.
Don't just tell her that.
I'm sorry.
That's cute. Do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of monster?
Maybe.
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
I'm hoping you'd tell me.
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why.
I mean, true.
That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
She's smart.
So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting. Right?
Chopping off her hand?
She is. I'm sure of it. You know why you're here.
Stabby stab?
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw.
Just got punched out.
It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around.
Finish the job.
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now.
Okay, but what are we? You see our nails and our skin? What are we?
Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart. The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
Uh-oh.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2. The Adversary.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Wait, what?
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Turn around and leave.
We can't just leave. We're supposed to fight her.
Voice of the stubborn.
Where are you going? Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Nope. I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to the princess. Maybe I'll slay her. Maybe I won't. I guess we'll see.
I guess we will. Oh, about time. I can't believe you were about to run away.
Really?
A warning before you go any further.
Oh, God.
She will lie, she will cheat.
You said
and
this
she will
before.
do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight.
Stubborn really wants
Are you
to...
sure about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice. The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear?
Crystal. Let's just get on with it already.
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold
well?
stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
You didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror.
Huh?
There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
But there is a mirror.
There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Oh, stop bickering and just get on with it. Who even cares if there's a mirror?
Wait, why doesn't the narrator see the mirror?
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone, so all of us can stop arguing about
Wait.
it and get to fighting.
Where'd it go? Let's just use our hands.
No knife this time. Right then, fisticuffs it is.
He uses
Probably
the
more
same
fair to
thing.
her anyway. Wouldn't want to feel like we cheated our way to a win.
Hell yeah.
As long as you can still get the job done. And don't forget that the blade is waiting for you upstairs if you happen to change your mind. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulfuric odor to it. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening.
Good. Sounds like my kind of princess.
I like stubborn.
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A
Mommy?
large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us. But no little knife this time, huh? No. I hope you're not just here to chat. I've been itching for a rematch.
I don't know what happened to you since the last time we met, but I am not fighting a giant demon lady. Bye!
Oh, you've got another thing coming if you think you can just turn around and leave.
Uh-oh.
Step towards the stairs. You hear the heavy creak of straining metal, and then a snap. She's loose. You have to make a decision, and you have to make it fast.
Oh, we're fucked. Oh, we're fucked.
You do your best to scramble up the stairs before the princess can reach you. You practically feel her steamy breath on the back of your neck, but you manage, just barely, to throw yourself over the threshold and slam the heavy stone doors behind you.
Bye, Hexe. Nice knowing you.
You're safe, if only for a moment.
The blade. Take the blade from the altar.
You take the blade from the altar.
Finally.
Do you think this door is enough to hold me? You're not getting out of this. I don't care how many things I have to break. I'm getting the fight I want.
The iron cabin shakes as the princess throws herself against the basement door. It's huge and made of stone. We're fine, right?
Nope.
Of course we are. Any second now she's going to break through that entryway. And we're finally going to get to do what we came here to do.
Oh, God.
Impact shakes the cabin, a massive gash splitting its way up the stone doors.
Well, that's gonna be our body.
She comes.
The doors explode outwards, shards of stone clattering against the walls as the princess emerges from the basement.
At least you finally have a weapon. Good.
We're doomed!
Yup.
In a fit of violence, the princess explodes across the room and closes the gap between you. You do your best to defend yourself from her onslaught. You're sorely injured. For every wound you inflict on her, she inflicts 2 on you until, finally, you're no longer able to so much as stand. Your body is giving out.
Giving out? No, nobody's giving out. We're just getting started.
Don't be delusional, it's over. You fall to your knees.
Is that it? You're supposed to be tougher than this. Come on, get up. Keep fighting me.
No, this isn't right. Listen to me. Listen to her. We can do this.
We can't.
Oh!
Why won't you get up?
Yeah, lady!
Kicks you in the chest, splinters from your shattered ribs stabbing into your heart and lungs. Your vision starts to swim. Finally, her face, twisted into an expression of disappointment and fury, fades.
Chapter 3. The Eye of the Needle.
You're on a path in the wood.
If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there.
Uh-oh.
Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive.
Oh,
We
another
died
one?
Because you didn't have enough of it. So what? You'd have us cower in a corner? No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met.
What?
Then what is going on? What's going on is that you'd only be saying the things you've been saying if you'd already been here, and if you'd already seen things you weren't supposed to have seen. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. Let's get to the cabin, see this through. It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason. We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You are still an other, and I don't trust you.
I like hunted.
Well, fortunately, you have an entire trip through the woods to reconsider that.
There's nothing to reconsider. We're all for violence here.
Are we? haven't signed off on anything yet. Violence is the answer here, but the method is equally important to the act. You can't let her leave the cabin. It's like I said, all just circles. Instinct tells me we need space, and I trust instinct. Nothing else to say. Not for me. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament. No last advice for us? No words of warning? From what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind. I don't know, screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. Catharsis is for when we're finished. For now, we need to hold it out in front of us, something to chase. The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight, more of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The only furniture of note is an iron altar jutting out from the wall, a pristine blade perched on its edge. See? We have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us. Good. There's no overcoming her without it. We need every part of us to survive, and that steel claw is as much a part of us as any. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it, as if you don't see it. You're rather committed to the bit, aren't you? The door's right there. It's right in front of you. This really is just like last time. It smells of nothing, yet it's still there. You reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised? It was in our way, and now it's not. That's all that matters. Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require careful effort. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet. Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember, every crack and crevice will need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness. Her face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling. Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh, break your bones against my body. I want a real challenge this time.
Can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us, stand beyond her chains, and let her become frenzied. She'll break them. Then we run. I really don't like the sound of this. It's the only way we live.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
I think we should listen to the hunted.
You step forward, stopping just outside the reach of her chains. The princess scoffs.
Oh, you're up to something tricky, aren't you? You're teasing me with what I want, but I'm sick of waiting. I'm not going to let you give me another bad fight. I'm going to get what I want.
Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Run. Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel.
Wait, she's thick! She can't fit!
As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff face with her fingertips in her rabid pursuit.
Anywhere you go, I will follow!
Good. You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and infinitely distant.
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same?
What are you?
Little bird, where do you think you're going?
We're almost there. Don't think about almost. We're there when we're there. And we'll take the fight with us. Your stomach hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door and roll onto the grass. You glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway. You are walking a dangerous path. If you waver once, it's all over. So get it right.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge? Then show me! Show me that you've been worth all the room you've taken up in my head!
Do it! Be swift, strike true, be where she's not. Let your body move you.
We're just gonna have to go all in. We're just gonna have to go all in.
Leap from the grass and bound towards the princess, keeping low.
Charging me head on? Brave and foolish.
Her body braces for impact, anticipating the clash. That's where you're both wrong. Left, now. As the princess strikes, your body swerves to the left. She overextends, stumbling as her balance shifts unexpectedly. Before you can finish the thought, you lash out, the blade slicing through her leg. She turns to swing again. Right. You move out of the way, but this time it's not quite as clean. You can feel a bruise already blooming where her elbow crashed into flesh.
It's nothing. A scratch.
Yes, it could be worse. And you managed to gift her another cut in return. I'll be damned.
We're actually gonna pull this off, aren't we?
Yes, finally! This is the hole I felt in my heart. This is what I've needed. This is what I've been missing. This is how it always needed to end. Both of us giving it our all, beating and bleeding each other to death.
The two of you engage in a devastating flurry of blows, each of you wounding the other again and again. You spy an opening. She's waiting for you. She lets you sink the blade deep, trapping you in place long enough to wrap you in her impenetrable arms. You're
Nothing. These blows are nothing to us.
But her gambit wasn't enough to close the gap. It wasn't enough to kill you. She stares you down, coughing up a splash of blood as she gasps for breath.
You've outplayed me, haven't you?
We
Something
win?
feels wrong. Something.
And? Then what happens?
What the hell? But you do not have the chance to respond. Something has taken her away, and it's left something else in her place. It's the freaking mirror.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? I'm begging you, don't do this.
Why is he scared now?
It's different now. It feels... I don't know. Final.
Silence as you reach forward, they're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. What?
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
What do you think I am?
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
The gift of a fragile vessel?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one yearns to grow and struggle. Even now I feel a will pushing against mine, not realizing that we are one. She will make for a fierce heart. Do not mourn her. We will provide her with the growth she fought for. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Chapter 1: The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Yeah, I'm just gonna let her out.
Only making this more difficult. You're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
If there isn't a key, do you have any other ideas?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
Jesus Christ!
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you. The clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now.
But how?
Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
We're freeing her.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world.
He is bad.
Princess approaches the bottom stair. Your body steps forward and
He's
raises
making
the
us
blade.
do this.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What? You son of a bitch!
What are you doing?
You bring the blade down to strike at the princess's heart. But she's fast. She ducks to the floor, your blade narrowly grazing her backside. Slaying her won't be easy now that she's free.
We could have gotten out of here together. Were you just lying to me this whole time?
Uh-oh.
I don't know what's come over you, but if I have to kill you, then I'll kill you.
Uh-oh.
Do you think I need both of my arms to do that?
Uh-oh.
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear, but you have a weapon. You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly for the heart. You collapse to the floor, your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground.
Okay, so I think we just have to stab her.
She stares down at your ravaged form, eyes shining in the darkness, dress stained in red as her blood and yours both seep into the fabric. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, it will kill her before she can reach the outside world.
It can't just end like this, right?
As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2. The Witch.
You're on a path in the woods, and you're here to slay her. If you don't,
Yeah.
the interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots.
What
The
the
walls
hell?
a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just
Try to
happens to
stab her in the
resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Oops.
You take the blade from the shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw, waiting to swallow you up into the earth.
Nom nom nom.
The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably
She could be
won't bite.
I'm not nasty.
But you are. You're a wretched little thing.
Rude.
I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I
Did you
know
hear that
who you
part?
are, and I remember what you've done.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going
We
to
have
break
to
free
slay
and end
her.
the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps,
She has
entering the dark room
a
below.
lion tail?
You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring
kitty
from amid
cat?
the thick roots.
And there you are. One hand tucked
Chimera?
away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that? She's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you?
Yes.
That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Can't you get out of those on your own? Those chains didn't stop you last time. Oh, maybe we should do the
of
team up
course.
one.
They're nothing to me.
The princess grins as the chains fall from her wrist.
Uh-oh.
She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart, really. She knows how to hold her cards close to her chest.
This is why she can't just be abandoned here. If left to her own devices, she'll find a way out. Now stop her.
Look, I know how things got messy, but I think there's something bigger. Team up,
I
and then
suppose
stab
you
her.
didn't come into my hovel of your own accord, did you? All right. I suppose I could
And then we stab
team
her.
up. Yes, let's.
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face. She never breaks eye contact, even as the two of you find yourselves face to face. She's silent for a long moment, as if testing to see what you'll do now that she's within arm's reach.
After you, darling. You're the one it lets come and go. It's best if I follow.
Oh, hell no!
Oh no, we can't have that. If anyone is going to turn their back on anyone else, she's going to turn her back on us. It shouldn't matter who leads and who follows. We're working together here. Well, if it doesn't matter, then she can go first. We may be in this together, but that doesn't mean we have to trust her. We're armed and she's not. What's she gonna do? Bite us when we're not
Yes!
looking? You're talking a lot about trusting someone who, by her very definition, cannot be trusted.
Hero is
I don't know
stupid.
how many more warnings I have to dole out, but if you help her out of here, you're going to regret it.
And turn my back on you? Do you think me a fool? Your tricks are one of the only things I've known, and I've learned better by now.
The princess leans close, her nose twitching as she sniffs your neck inquisitorially.
Bite her nose.
What is she doing?
I think she's trying to figure out if we're lying, so it's a good thing we didn't lie.
Your stink is the stink of a wretch, but not of a liar. If I have to go first, I'll go first. But I'll have you know my ears are sharp, and I've got eyes on the back of my head. They'll be watching.
Eyes on the back of her head.
Does she
Does she really?
No, we're fine.
The princess pointedly turns her back on you and starts up the stairs. You follow close behind her, the two of you walking on tiptoes through the knotted roots of the basement stairs.
I mean, she's kind of cute.
It's time, boys! Stab her in the back! Do it! Do it now!
I
Wait,
mean,
I thought we were helping her escape. Of course we're not. You didn't buy all that noise I was putting down, did you? I was just waiting for a moment for us to strike.
I'm
Plunge the blade deep
sorry!
into the princess's back, driving her to her knees.
I'm so sorry.
Would you look at that? No need to thank me. But, you know, please, do thank me.
Of course you'd betray me the moment I turned my back on you. Don't think you're leaving here alive, wretch.
She shoves you in return, sharp teeth clamping around your ankle as the two of you tumble down the uneven stairs in a hastening flurry of violence.
Aye.
You separate with a bone-shaking thud as you hit the basement floor. You feel something pop. The princess lands against the far wall,
Ow.
gasping as she struggles to recover from the impact. You're still in shock, trying to get a hold of yourself. She grins as you continue to remain exactly where you are, cackling derisively as she watches you realize that you won't be getting
Wait, did our spine break?
Wait, why won't we be getting up? I'm afraid your back is broken.
You know what? I'll say it. That sucks. I don't like having a broken back.
Did you really think you could stab me in the back without suffering the consequences? Fool, 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 you're such a ridiculous fool.
She's got to have it as bad as us, right?
The princess's body twitches as she tries to get up.
Ho-ho!
So she does have it as bad as us.
Something inside me is broken. Isn't that a cruel twist of the knife? Isn't that so funny?
She eyes you with intensity, silence falling between you for a long moment as her gaze travels up and down your battered form.
Oh, good.
Seems I'm not the only one, though.
Wait, are we both just stuck here?
Yep.
Certainly seems that way. What a way to go. Look on the bright side. In all this chaos, you may have actually managed to deliver a lethal wound. The world could be saved after all.
We're going to die together. Isn't
Let's
that
hold
a lovely
hands.
treat? I wonder how long it'll take. Maybe I'll get to watch the worms lick
Let's
your
hold
bones
hands.
clean.
Is that really what's going to happen?
Yep.
Hello? Are you still there? What happens next?
He doesn't respond.
I think he's gone.
Something strange is twisting this place out of shape. I wasn't feeling much of anything, but now I feel cold.
Yay! We did it! We approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward, they're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've weathered.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
What do you think of this vessel?
This one is hope, marred by bitterness. She could see the end of the tunnel, and the door was closed on her. She will make for a righteous and weathered heart. Do not mourn her. She is finally on the other side.
Chapter 1. The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
Oh, it's like it restarted
The air
everything.
is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and
What if
save
we just
the
do
world
everything
without it.
he says?
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
Let's see if we just go
There's a
straight
heavy
in,
chain
don't
around
do
her
anything,
wrist,
but like
binding
stab,
her
stab,
to the
stab,
far
stab.
wall of the-
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Play the princess.
You lunge
No,
forward
look
without
at
a
her face, she's
moment's
so
hesitation.
bad. No, I'm sorry.
You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die.
I don't think she's
Yes.
a person.
Even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over? Yes, exactly.
We're just
It's
gonna follow
over.
what the narrator says.
With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible?
Because you fucking did.
You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom.
Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy.
You'll be happy.
Kinda hoping I'd get a better ending for saving the world.
This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is the beginning of eternity. Your reward. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days, or months, or years, or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey. We're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
Hell no. Do you have any idea how to get us the heck out of here?
I do, but you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it.
Bro, my
Don't
brain.
you dare.
Wouldn't using the blade, kill us?
In a sense, we'd die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even really alive anymore? This place, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's just the same thing, constantly, forever. Fine, whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
Chapter 2. The Spectre.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. The interior of the cabin is cold, a soft odour of dirt permeating the air.
Different.
Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture of note is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge. It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time. She's dead. We killed her already. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin
I
wall.
want to know what we are.
I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. Let's not spend much longer worrying over it. Clearly it's not even important enough to be acknowledged. You take the blade from the table. The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust,
Ew.
and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself
get COVID.
feels dead. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. The room below is silent. Nobody's here. Naturally. As much as
gonna
I
be a
appreciate
ghost.
the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure.
She's gonna be a phantom. I'm calling it.
I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you
She's
descend
actually
the final
dead.
step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain.
It's. Notice how he said it's.
Okay, she's definitely dead. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor.
I called it.
Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous, skeletal grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? Ghost! Oh. Wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost supposed to do to us?
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you.
It's the UK ghosts.
Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again, if we wanted to.
I see you brought that annoying knife again. So, are you waiting for a chance to use it? Or are you here for something else?
The people who wanted you dead tricked me, and the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Let's team up.
Okay. I didn't want to be open to the idea, but there's no denying it now. You've clearly been here before. Oh. What tipped you off? Was it the corpse? Doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that nobody tricked you. I've done nothing but give you wholly accurate information, and I'm sure whatever version of me you met in whatever other world you came from gave you accurate information as well. And how do you know that? Because any other me you've met is still me. And I haven't tricked you, nor do I have any desire to trick you in the future. And clearly you decided to heed most of the warnings I gave you. Otherwise you never would have mostly slayed her. But we did slay her.
True?
Yes, fine, you did slay her, but clearly part of her is still unslayed. There's no point wasting time bickering over semantics. The fact that you apparently botched the landing isn't on the me you're talking to.
I wonder what happens if you just
any
slay her
other
again.
version of me that you've encountered. You're using a lot of words to say a lot of nothing.
Cold is old.
The enemy of my enemy.
The princess circles you again, her icy fingertips trailing up your spine, sending shivers rippling across your flesh.
I don't want enemies. I don't want to fight. I just want to go home. Is that really so much to ask?
And just where is home, I wonder?
I don't know where home is. I just know it isn't here. But I can feel it calling to me from someplace far away. Wherever I'm supposed to be, it's out there.
How specific. And how convenient for her. You see what she's doing, right? She's suggesting that the only way you
My
can rid
brain.
yourself of her would be to let her out, which, in case you haven't been
My freaking
listening,
brain.
will spell the end of the entire world.
But you can come and go as you please, can't you? So, let me hitch a ride. After all,
Oh god.
you owe me.
That was mid-yawn, lady.
Absolutely not. Is she asking if she can possess us? She is. And I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let her in, there is very little anyone could do to stop her. Would she be able to see us if we went along with it? Now, isn't that an interesting thought? We could finally bring her face to face with him.
Him?
I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so badly. You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
Okay, we're letting her
The
possess.
princess swims through the air in front of you, pausing for a brief moment as her dark-rimmed eyes stare deeply into yours. There's a hunger in her gaze.
Oh, we're so screwed.
Thanks for the body, killer.
You're welcome.
What are you doing? Don't just let her in. How many times do I have to tell you?
Uh-oh.
See you soon.
Oh god.
She rushes forward and then she's gone. A sharp chill spreads across your body. It starts in your chest, a freezing numbness flowing out from your heart all the way down your limbs. your mind growing cloudy and confused as it settles over your very soul.
I'm not sure I like this. Can we get a do-over?
I'm afraid it's too late to stop now. The numbness gives way to a stabbing pain, your muscles twitching and convulsing violently, each involuntary movement causing more waves of agony to ripple across your body. You collapse to the floor, and everything goes dark.
And we die.
Get up. You've still got a
Oh.
job to do.
Your eyes flick back open as you get your bearings, your vision swimming as...
So this is what it's like to be you, huh? Disembodied voice narrating your every move?
So, it doesn't work like that for you?
Clearly it doesn't, or she wouldn't have commented on it.
Uh-oh.
All these shards of broken glass on the floor? Are they also supposed to be you?
Hey, I'm not a shard of broken glass. I'm
Yeah? Go on. Finish the thought. What are you?
a voice? I'm me is what I am.
Who cares what we are? We exist. That's all that matters.
Do you have to deal with this annoying bickering all the time?
No, it matters. What we are matters. If I'm a shard of broken glass, then that raises some questions about certain other voices in here too.
I'm clearly the same thing you are.
Hopefully they'll all go away once we leave this place. I don't know how you can tolerate all of this noise.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him.
You don't need to know what I am. You just need to know that I'm different from you. More important.
So you're the one who pulled the strings and made me dead. I can tell you don't belong here. You're barely even there, like the shape of something left behind. You're more of a memory than a person.
That's rude.
You're kind of like me, actually.
I'm just going to ignore her. You push yourself off the ground. The princess is nowhere to be seen.
Because I'm in here with all of you. Everybody knows that.
I'm setting the stage. The room is empty because you made a spiteful, idiotic, and all-round foolish decision.
Oh, shut up. Stop trying to manipulate everyone. Or don't, actually. It doesn't really matter. Because you won't be around to do this for much longer.
One way or another, this is all going to end. Wouldn't it be nice if he ends with it?
I guess we'll just have to see what happens when we leave. But if I'm stuck in here, I'll be making some renovations. It's too crowded.
I like her.
Your legs, weary with the weight of the princess's spectral form and clumsy with the cold that still pervades them, stumble towards the stairs.
I'm just trying to get home. You don't have to act like it's the end of the world.
But that's exactly what you leaving this place is going to be.
You don't know that.
I do. For how much you hate her, you aren't doing a whole lot to stop us from leaving this place.
It's because he can't stop me. Why do you think he sent you here?
I hate to admit it, but she's not wrong. It's just the weight of it all. It's too much for me to do anything other than describe and dictate. And whine. This body wasn't made to hold you and the princess. If you want to renege on your cataclysmically terrible decision a minute ago, well, you're the only one that can make that happen. You continue slowly to the door, your feet like lead dragging across the floorboards, growing heavier with each step.
I think he can't because she, like how he said she's too heavy. Maybe her will is stronger.
Finally. Finally!
You lift your shaking hand and rest it on the door handle, but you pause before you open it, exhaustion sapping what's left of your will. Was exhaustion really the best you could muster up? It's over. There's no use stalling. Let's see what happens next. The handle clicks as you twist it, and then the door grows open. You collapse to the ground, you and the princess, free from the confines of the cabin. As you exhale from the effort, you look up and see... yes?
Nothing. He's gone. And so is everything else.
So we did slay him after all. He had it coming, I suppose.
Alright. Let's see if I'm stuck with you forever.
You feel a lightness in your chest as a pair of sunken eyes emerge from your body and stare up at you.
Guessing not. That's where it ends well, right? You lived up to your end of the bargain, so I'll live up to mine. Thanks.
Don't mention it.
I think this is where I'm meant to be.
And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
You approach the mirror. As you reach forward, they're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've grown.
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither? This one is vaporous. She is a dream for a life she could never have. But that longing has given her so much capacity for kindness. She will make for an understanding heart. Do not mourn her. She will finally be able to hold what she never knew. I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am.
Chapter 1: The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
Wait.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. You turn back to the stairs, intent on retrieving the blade in her.
You'd better hope for your own sake that I don't slip these chains before you make it back down here.
She has to be bluffing, but I'd hurry if I were you. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade. You slowly creep down the basement stairs.
It's quiet.
It's quiet.
Oh no.
Where the princess
She
sat
chewed
only a
off her
moment ago, there's only a severed arm. Its cooling flesh still chained to the wall. Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger?
We got off the wrong foot. Do you think we could start over?
You coward!
Shut up, narrator!
No, I don't think we can. Why don't you come closer?
Where is she?
I have something to show you.
Close the door behind you.
You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place.
Come on out.
Maybe they'll open if you finish
I'll
the
wait.
Oh, do you want to play a waiting game?
job. You do your best to patiently wait her out.
Come on, wake up. We can't fall asleep down here.
You wait for as long as you can, pushing yourself to stay awake and stay vigilant. But you can't outwait someone who's been waiting for as long as she remembers. You barely even realize that you've started to drift off. Pain tears you from your sleep. The princess is upon you, ripping into your flesh, unnaturally sharp teeth and claws severing arteries and digging into organs.
Damn!
There's nothing to be done.
Okay.
You're already half gone.
It can't just end like this. Right?
She ate you.
As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny
We've
the
been
reality
eaten.
of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over.
Chapter 2: The Beast.
You're on a path. You're here.
Yeah.
The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here for a long time, wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table
Ew.
with a pristine blade perched on its edge. You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes.
Okay.
The air seeping up from
That's
below
new.
is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
Arr.
She sounds almost feral,
Is she a kitty cat?
impatient, or maybe
Cat girl wife.
eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away
I
into
heard
the
Belle.
underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her.
Or maybe that was the chain.
Remember, she's just a princess.
Bullshit.
She is certainly not just a princess. You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you. And a little splinter clutched in trembling hands won't save you from me.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now! You lunge to the side, picking a direction on instinct. As you land, you're buffeted by a gust of air, disturbed by the sudden motion of a massive body. In an instant, she's pounced on the spot where you would have been, her chains rattling across the floor behind her. Before you can blink, she's gone, vanishing.
That ain't a cat!
But you still feel her.
You're faster than you were before.
Oh,
You're
what
still
the
reactive. Prey.
I no longer want this waifu.
You whirl around to find her, and your gaze meets hers, a pair of shining eyes peering out at you from just beyond the basement stairs.
So she's cut off our escape. Shit. What do we do?
If you want to see me, you should get better at seeing.
She knows that her strength lies in shadows and secrets. She won't reveal herself unless she has to.
What do you want?
I want to swallow you whole.
Oh.
And I will get what I want. You have no exit.
Okay.
You have no hope. You live and die by my whims, and my whims alone.
Don't ask her what she wants, just slay her.
You get your ass over here and you do it.
Is that all the advice you have? We don't even know what she looks like. Some specifics would be very helpful.
She's just a princess.
I'ma
Don't
slap
overthink
him.
it.
I'm gonna fucking slap him.
She is clearly not.
She's coiling for another strike. Be somewhere else. We're on the back foot. The back foot keeps us nimble, keeps us alive.
It doesn't matter if it keeps us alive, if it eventually kills us. We need to take back the momentum. We need to do something.
This isn't going to work. We're in her domain. We just have to stay alive.
If we keep dodging her forever, we're going to get tired. We're going to slip up. We have to take a risk. As the princess lunges from the shadows once more, you tighten your grip on the blade and lash out. It strikes, cutting deep, and the princess loses her focus, crying out in pained surprise as she crashes into you. You're sent sprawling and can already feel the massive bruise blossoming on your ribs as she scrambles back into the darkness.
Ha! Look at that! We wounded her, and she wounded us. Bad trade.
Shut up,
That
Hunted.
hurt. Are you just the cornered animal you seem to be? Or could you be a rival?
She rears back, then leaps at you, more forceful, more ferocious, more serious. The scuffle is brief, and though you inflict a few deep wounds, you find yourself quickly overwhelmed by her savagery. You collapse to the floor, and she wastes no time before pouncing on you in a flurry of claws and blood, your nerves barely
Damn
able
it!
to keep up with the onslaught. By the end, you're lying in a nest of your own intestines, spine severed, blood rapidly draining out onto the jungle floor. The princess, drenched in both her blood and yours, idly prods your body.
Poke, poke.
No, that's it then. Cornered animal it was. Do better next time. I still need to devour you. And it doesn't count if you're dead.
We're not dead, we're...
No, you died.
But you don't have time to protest her premature observation of your death, because everything goes dark,
We died.
and you die.
Chapter 3. The Den.
You're on a path in the
Yeah, we are. And this time we're not gonna run until we die. We're taking her head on and we're winning.
You
Oh, shit.
felt her. She didn't have a soft underbelly. She didn't have blind spots. What could we have done that would have saved us from her hunger?
When someone tries to make you dead, you have to hit them back. You have to show them your authority.
True.
There's nothing worse than a bully that thinks they are.
True.
Great. So you've been here before. That doesn't bode well. You're not supposed to have been here before. This is supposed to be one and done.
Oh, shut up. It bodes fine. You're the reason we're stuck in this shit situation. Now I have to do the hard work of dragging us out.
And how do you intend to do that?
We're going to fight her, and we're going to win.
True!
There's a reason she slinks around in the shadows.
True!
Well, no complaints here. Now hold on. We're not just gonna let the fact that he knows things about this whole Lupin situation go, are we?
He's not important. He can have his secrets for all I care. She's killed us twice now, and that's enough of a reason for us to want her dead.
True! Okay, what's the plan?
Like I said, we're going to fight her.
But we're so small.
We don't actually know how big she is. We just know she wants us to think she's big.
Ooh?
And if she's going to treat us like prey again, then she is sorely underestimating us. One good wallop. That's all we need to put her on the defensive.
You make your way down to the cabin. Your fated confrontation awaits. You know what to do.
We've already been over the plan.
I'm not sure that use violence counts as a plan.
It's a better plan than you had last time.
I don't like this. Don't try to keep us breathing. The interior is dark and overgrown. Vines and brush obscure so much of the place that, had you not seen the exterior, you might not have noticed this was a cabin at all. The only furniture of note, if you could call it that, is a knotted stump, a pristine blade embedded in its exposed rings.
Take it. We're not fighting a monster without a blade. Even if it's not a very big one.
Is no one going to mention the mirror? What are you talking about? There is no mirror. It's just the stump and a narrow tunnel that leads to the basement. He isn't tricking us. Can you feel the wind? It's telling us there's a hole in that wall. Our eyes deceive us.
If that mirror's blocking our way, just smash it and be done with it.
Take the blade?
Yes, take the steel claw. You pull the blade from the stump, gripping it tight.
Good. One step closer to ending this.
Brush the mirror.
You step forward, approaching the small hole that leads to the basement, hesitating before you enter the princess's lair.
You heard him. Stop hesitating and smash that antique.
That mirror isn't part of this place. It's seeped through from somewhere else. It, if there even is an it, is a hallucination. Like you said, you've been here twice before. Your mind was bound to start playing tricks on you eventually. It's so grimy. You reach forward and wave your hand over the open hole leading to the basement. See? Nothing. Tricks of the eye. No one sense can be trusted on its own. You step forward into the darkness. If there were once stairs leading into the basement, there is nothing left to attest to their existence now. There is only a long tunnel of packed earth, growing more narrow as you descend. It smells of mold and decay. The damp walls leave streaks of dirt along your body as you're forced to hunch, then finally squat down on all fours in order to continue. As you crawl forward on hands and knees, you're met only with the sounds of ambient earth. No voice slinks confidently up the stairs, no entity threatens violence or pleads for safety. Stay quiet. Don't give her a sound. You say nothing, maintaining the silence as you carefully make your way down into the basement. The basement is dark and cavernous, a gaping maw threatening to swallow you whole. There is no light here, save for what little starlight has managed to filter down the tunnel. And though you can't see the vastness of the space, you can feel it. You're exposed.
It doesn't matter if we can't see down here. We know where she is.
You do? Up in the shadows, ready to fight?
You step into the shadows and are enveloped in total darkness. Your heart pounds in your chest, ears pricked, eyes wide despite the inky blackness, waiting for any sign of movement. There, she's about to strike. With the near silence
She got
of a
bird
determined
wings.
predator, the princess erupts from the shadows. You're quick to react, swinging your blade, its tip intercepting her before she can draw first blood. She recoils, stunned for a brief moment.
See? I told you. We needed to assert our
What
might.
the-
We needed to prove to her that
What
she
is
can
she?
win too. She'll doubt her every move now.
But you don't have long before she lunges again, re-engaging with even more ferocity than before. But that voice in your head wasn't wrong. Within that ferocity, there is also hesitation. Not much, but enough. Not a word is spoken between you and the princess as you exchange blows in the dark. the glint of bloody claws and fangs, the flash of wet steel. In the pit, all of your senses are heightened, each injury stinging like a chorus of insects, each small shift in your favor a major victory that swells your heart. And...
But he doesn't respond. The eyes glance at you from the untextured threads of a world unraveled. I am free? They ask.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
You reach forward. You're nothing at all. Huh? But that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze and then you see it. A figure, faint, veiled in shadow. It is just beyond the reflection.
I think you know what I am.
So you're the narrator. Okay?
Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help, after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far. Oh, I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo. Likely one of many. Somebody made you, after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
Who made me, then what am I?
You're the long quiet. The god I made to rid the world of death. She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. This isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
We've already did it, though.
Burdenless. An eternal pattern of forgetfulness leading into the joys of rediscovery. Everyone will be with the ones they love. No more fear. No more howling chaos. Just life. Forever.
That would be bad.
There's a cruel irony to it all. The only way I could share my dream with the world was to never be able to see it for myself. Are you lying? I can't tell, but I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
Bye. You've arrived at the heart of things. There is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There is nothing for you to find. Shaking. Oh my god.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
I am the long quiet, but I don't really know what that means.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
Did you hear our conversation?
Every word you spoke found its way to me.
What happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation? Violence has always been our language, hasn't it? If this is what it takes to save you, then so be it. You are devoured. Pray for something bigger than you that stalks and slinks in shadows. But even after the pain of defeat, you returned. The dance is its own truth. It is the movement that matters, not the pause you mistake for an ending.
You are so sure of yourself that you think the world would stop without you?
I know that I am movement itself. You've seen as much. You know it's true.
A trick behind your back and a trick behind mine. We dance, revolving and revolving around each other, but forever stuck in place. We both move and yet we both don't, for each of us watches the other instead of ourselves. But forever is not forever. I move and you react and both of us break the other. But broken is only a moment in time. To change is to hold the potential to rise above. Would you limit yourself to what you are now? Or would you like to see what you might become tomorrow?
A shiver passes through you as unseen fingers, cold as the grave, dance across your skin. They remember the violence you inflicted on them, and yet they do not return it. I offer you a path to your redemption, and you take my hand in yours. You felt the pain you caused another, and you were willing to sacrifice everything you thought was you to set me free. Without sin, there is no redemption.
Brutality splashes you against the walls, but with stubborn defiance you rise again. And with the dance of our conflict, I was brought somewhere new. Without you, my world would have been so small. Do you remember the moment of your triumph? Do you remember the feeling of your blade finally cutting me down? My defeat was a gift. Without obstacles to overcome, we stagnate into nothing.
As the clash between you abates, the princess relaxes, smiling from a distance. Respite is welcome.
Are you still committed to my destruction, or has your resolve started to waver? Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. You cannot remove something without removing the relations which define it. To destroy what you perceive as evil is to damn everything you perceive as good. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
You've done everything you can to make me understand your perspective, but you keep dismissing mine.
What I offer you is not perspective.
Did we already do this one?
It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone.
I thought he died!
It's good to be here. She's too many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get through all of that divine confidence. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready? Then let's go.
Huh?
And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things?
Is the narrator really gone?
Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated.
If the offer still stands, but could you describe the cabin to me?
Yeah, of course.
Have him describe it.
The interior of the cabin is, well, it's a cabin, yeah? There isn't much here, just a table and a knife and a door. And some windows. You know, come to think of it, I don't think he ever really mentioned the windows, did he? There's no mirror, either. I think you broke it. And I know you're still trying to find some middle ground, but if things go south, we're going to need that blade. That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not. The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
Have you figured out what you want to do yet, or are you going to keep trying to find a center that doesn't exist?
It sounded just like that. A little sharp, a little menacing, only she didn't know us.
And there you are, knife in hand. It really brings me back. Have you given up on talking? Have you finally decided to kill me? You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go?
I don't want to have to slay you, but I don't know what other options there are.
Well, I don't want to be at the end of that knife, so how about we figure something out? What if we tried doing this forever? I can do whatever you think I can, right? So make me put it all back. Make me fix the Echo's construct and make me wipe our memories of everything that's happened. Make me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up. Before either of us saw the truth.
Can she really do that? Are you sure that's what you want?
How do we know we haven't done this before?
I don't think that's something we'll ever get to know. But odds are we've probably done it before.
What if I make my way back here, I'm different and I hurt you?
Who cares? We've hurt each other plenty and I still like you.
Aw!
And if you're hesitating, then you must still like me too.
Okay, if this is your choice, then I have your back. I guess I'll see you on the other side. She takes the blade from our hand, a fondness in her gaze.
I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
Awkward! That hurt! It's okay, we're gonna be dead soon anyway. Chapter 1: The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
So this is really it then. Let's see this through.
So, that's how it is. Whatever world you want to build without me, I hope it works out. Despite our differences, I've always loved you, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Leave the basement behind, then the stairs, then you leave the cabin itself.
It's quiet here. He's gone. She's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us. It's finally over, isn't it?
I knew we'd finally see it through. All it takes to be a winner is grit and determination.
We really did win, didn't we? We're the house now. We get to make the rules. This is nice. No more hunting. No more running. Just us.
Absolute reality. Who would have thought there was really a world outside of us? And who would have thought we'd actually wind up siding with him?
The whispering and the coercion and the bickering. Everything horrible about being alive has stopped. I could get used to this.
That wasn't very hard at all. Speak for yourself.
Well, boys, how does it feel? We're not just on top of the pecking order, we are the pecking order now. I hope this was all worth it, because I'm personally inconsolable.
Oh no!
Lucky for us, you have forever to get over it.
Time mends a lot of things. You'll get better.
Hear, hear, to our vanquished foe.
It's good to be back. Now we just have to figure out what to do with ourselves. Forever. No problem.
Dear God.
We can do that, yeah? Yeah. We can do that.
Oh, Lord.